Well, this is Wednesday morning, this is the Morning Digest, and this is the Youth Edition. We are here today to discuss a great topic. I want you to stay tuned and get all the people you can, because today may determine a lot of your tomorrows. We are dealing with opportunities. They say that if opportunity does not knock at your door, please, victory comes from finding the opportunity. And so we are here to discuss opportunities and emerging opportunities. The other day, the president opened the country, and some of you were happy. We are all happy, because that has an indication on the opportunities that are there and that are emerging. But before we get into it, I want to ask you, wherever you are, get into your phone right now. Get into your phone, like I'm doing. Get into your phone. Go onto Facebook. Pick the link. Let me do that. Please do that with me. Pick the link and copy it. Send it to all your people. It's already there. Pick the link and send it to all your people. It's the Wednesday Morning Digest. Get to Elevate TV page and pick the link and forward it. Some of you share it on your timelines. Share it on your timelines. Every one of you. Let's interact and let's give everyone an opportunity to hear what is about to happen. My guest today is Sam. I call him Sammy. He's one of those men I really treasure. He's a guy who has he has exemplified himself in the business space, and what you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Get him to tell you what's going on, and we'll be talking about the opportunities that are emerging and how to prepare, where to get them, how to find them, and how to engage with these opportunities. Sammy, welcome to Elevate.
Thank you for having me once again.
Yeah, you are always welcome. You know, this is your home.
Asante, yes, I know that.
This is your home, and you should always remember that this is your home.
Thank you.
Look at that TV. Invite your friends so that we begin this thing together.
Asante.
Yeah. Look at that screen. Invite your friends.
So this is Elevate TV, and we are here to have a very open conversation on emerging opportunities, as my brother is saying. And I think it's a high time that we get, we step up our game in terms of business, and also we take advantage of opportunities which are there, because there are so many. And as you have rightfully said, that if opportunities don't knock, you go knocking on their doors. And it's important for us to do that. And today you're going to have a very open conversation. And let's see how it goes, and I believe it's going to be a very big blessing to so many people.
Wow, that you've heard it from some. They say if you have not gone somewhere, you don't need to go. Ask someone who has been there to be like you have just gone, and you'll be able to see, and they'll be able to paint what they saw, so that you can also own it and make it yours. Some, we go right away. The president opened, the curfew was ceased.
Cessation.
Cessation of the curfew.
Yes.
That's the 10 to 4 in the morning.
Yes, 10 to 4.
Because the night had its own opportunities. We are talking about, we are speaking like this because there are opportunities that, emerging out of this. So would you just speak into it before we talk about other things?
Okay. Thank you, Pastor, for having me once again. Yes, the economy opened, and I think it was a high time that the president felt, it's time for us to open the economy. Based on what was happening, there was no cash flows. People had lost power to purchase. And there was no money in circulation, and the government still was demanding more taxes. And so the government gets money through, people paying taxes. And so if there's no business, the government is also getting it hard in terms of even its expenditure. And so I think it is the right time to do that now. It has been now 18 months.
18 months.
And it has been a long stretch for businesses, and especially small, medium entrepreneurs, SMEs. Because SMEs, what they make on a daily basis is what they live on, is what they feed on, is what they educate their children on. And so when it was disrupted, and it was an abrupt disruption, there was panic out there. Businesses went down, because now we couldn't move freely. We had very few hours to work. And I can give an example with even restaurants. They had like 3 hours to work. And 3 hours, you can imagine. And in Kenya, many people go to restaurants maybe for meetings. They are social gatherings, just meeting our friends and having tea. And so it was really affected. When you look at the transport sector, it was also diversely affected because buses could not travel at night. Look at that chain. Because of buses not traveling at night, the satellite towns were closing down.
They are closing down.
Yeah, because when you travel at night, you have to have a stopover at some place.
Yes.
You have to pay to use a washroom. You have to pay to shower. You have to pay for tea. There's somebody who is selling, there's a street vendor who is selling, food, sweets, vichanuo, perfumes, all those things.
But what you're talking about is very amazing. People don't see like these people add up to the economy.
They do.
The people who carry these big basins with all these commodities.
They do.
People don't see like they add up to the economy. We only think of big business.
You see, that is and I think the government has also seen the power of the SME.
Yes.
Because that's a collective group. We are talking about the micro. Now when you talk about the people with basins, na cartons wanauza huku chini, ukiwa kwa for example, if in a mat, you are going to Meru, you are going to Nyeri, you are going to Nakuru, they come and they sell to you sodas, they sell to you some snacks, they sell to you some of them even they sell to you some earrings or something like that, And those people, they are the people who go to the supermarkets at night and clear the shelves of the milk shelves, clear the bread shelves, clear the sukari shelves. So on a daily basis, you find that when the wheel is turning, they are the people who are contributing a lot to the economy because when you do that, you pay your VAT. When you go to the supermarket, you pay your VAT. You pay VAT even to the smallest of the tissues and the rest. So the government cannot be able to do away with SMEs. And you see, let me give an example, even in the production. The production of sugar. You see, the government gets a lot of money. Sugar, tissue, all these consumables which move on a daily basis, rice, I saw the government also, pushing even the Mwea farmers, even opening up for them even to sell their rice to different government agencies. So when you look at now these micro and small medium entrepreneurs, they are the backbone of any economy in the world, not only in Kenya. Go to Europe, go to Scandinavian countries, go to India, Asia, Asian tigers. All of them, they are held together by the SMEs. Yes, so it's a very important sector.
You sit somewhere, you sit at the helm of this organization, the SMEs, all of them, you are like, actually you are one of them.
Yes.
And you've graciously been given that leadership opportunity to lead them.
Yes.
And your leadership has been felt. What would you say has been one of the greatest, challenge to those SMEs?
Thank you, Pastor.
In that COVID season.
Yeah. I think the greatest challenge, and you have added the COVID season, but allow me to just say the greatest challenge with small medium entrepreneurs is lack of information.
Wow.
Lack of information places them in a platform where they don't know what to do and they don't know which opportunities are there. And the government has also so many programs and opportunities to help small medium entrepreneurs, but the dissemination of information from the boardrooms to the streets, and if there's any dissemination of information, it's so complex. It has to be broken down to consumable information, because when you look at the literacy levels of SMEs, the other day I saw a study of the literacy level. We are not as literate as we think we are, but we may have business acumen, but you're not very literate. So we need that information broken down.
You know how to count money.
You know how to count money. So, but the challenge, to answer your question, the challenge during COVID, this was something that nobody expected to happen. And very few people actually were ready for it. Even the big businesses. It was disruption. It was so disruptive that there are many people who are bankrupt today.
Yes.
Businesses closed down. There are many people right now, if you go and buy newspapers, the auctioneers, the back page is full of people being auctioned.
I'll tell you.
Because we had not, that challenge was one of its kind, and people now had to rethink on how to restart. It was like a rebooting of a person's life. So when you look at that, the challenge that was there was your business is directly affected. Your livelihood is directly affected. And when you look at the businesses in Kenya, the SMEs, we don't have watches. I mean, what I mean by the watches, I mean we don't have a lot of money to back us up.
Oh yeah.
So we live daily, save small, maybe through circles, but that cannot sustain you for long. So you find that you are plowing back your money again to businesses, to your business, to make sure that it revolves. And so because of that, when your business is disrupted for about a week, you start going down. Your trajectory starts going down. And that is how now you found that people in Yamakima, they closed shop. There was no importation of cargo. And a good number even of our members and a good number even of the traders, they highly depend on what we call consolidated cargo.
Yes.
Mari, the small things. It was closed. So China closed down. So there are no containers which are coming. You can't access to the market. You can access to the production lines that you have in China, in India, in Malaysia, in Singapore. You can't do that. So you have now whatever stock you have, you consume it. And now because you still probably you're in that line, you have now to think of other avenues or other channels that you can get the product or reinvent yourself.
Reinvent yourself. Actually, the idea was to reinvent. Let me ask you, just because you mentioned that,
Yeah.
how did the organization help your members? Especially, I mean, they were very hit.
Yes, they were very hit.
How did you come in handy through your networks?
Yes. It's information. We gave them a lot of information. And I can tell you that one of the things that we told our members is, can we have an introspective approach or introspective look at ourselves of what we can be able to produce locally?
Yes. Right.
You see, let's start with us now. Now that China has closed, do we have local people who can produce the same things? If you go like to the cosmetic industry, do we have local people who can be able to produce that? If you go like, for example, to the Mari, do we have local people who can be able to produce that? And I remember when we were growing up, we had people like Kaluwax. You remember Kaluwax? Wale walikuwa natengeneza aluminium kettles, vijiko, all those things. Some of those things we get them in China. But we had Kaluwax here some time back.
Actually, we killed our industries.
We killed our industries
by going to China.
By going to China.
True. That's the truth.
You see?
I think Africa, that is the injustice Africa has done us.
Yes. And I think the reason why we went to China is because also the production cost. The government was not supporting us. The production cost is very expensive. The cost of power,
the cost of power in Kenya
is unrealistic.
Yeah.
Because you find that the cost of power eats even into your very, not even into your very profit. Actually, it's like it's everything. It's like you're working for power.
Yes, true. Even the home power.
Even the home power is very expensive.
How much you pay for it.
And that's why you're finding like big companies, like even the cement companies, the cement producers, they are even going to green energy. They get vast land and they do solar energy. But having said that, I think that aspect of reinventing ourselves brought us to a point we must reinvent ourselves. What do we need to do as us? And what other services, apart from maybe probably what you are doing, you shouldn't be stuck there. What is the other thing that you can be able to do?
Yes.
You see, either production of goods or services. And now we started now getting personalized services, even deliveries. People, many courier companies actually they made a lot of money, and that's and every opportunity you may think is a calamity, but every calamity creates opportunities.
Every calamity has its own opportunities.
Yeah, it creates opportunities.
It's something I want to ask you before we go, because we are going to get into opportunities and what you're doing to fill in that gap. How do you from your members, how are you able to disseminate this information? Do you meet them?
Yes.
Now that these are days of no meetings.
Yeah, no meetings. Yes.
How do you disseminate
that information? We are quite organized. Number one, what we have done is that we have created WhatsApp groups and Telegram groups, because WhatsApp can only take maybe 200 or 300. So Telegram can take even 10,000, over and above that. And so what we have done, we have clustered our members into sectors. So this sector has its own leadership. This sector has its own, like for example, the mobile phone sector and accessories, it has its own leadership. Then we have the electronic sector has its own leadership. Then we have the cartridge sector in terms of computers has its own leadership. So when we get opportunities and we have information to disseminate, like for example, we didn't know that people had stocked so much goods in Uganda.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of goods in Uganda. Yeah, Kenyans. Because number one, what happened is that, you see, when the government tries to, the policies are not very friendly, and your neighbor has friendlier, and better. So they go to, they migrated to Uganda, and they got go downs in warehouses, and so they could stock a lot of cargo. So it docks in Mombasa. Uganda is landlocked. So it docks in Mombasa on transit to Uganda. Then from Uganda now, they can be able now to distribute to Uganda, to Kenya, to Tanzania, to Congo, to Rwanda, to Southern Sudan, you see. So we didn't know the magnitude of, the goods which were in Uganda, which sustained, which sustained the market for about 6 months.
Wow.
About 6 months. So guys could get goods in Uganda. And I remember that time I even traveled to Uganda. I traveled to Kampala. It was hard getting the approvals and everything, but we were able to access there. And I remember even buses now, instead of carrying people, because people now are not, moving, they were carrying now cargo. You see, mafuta ya kujipaka, vipondozi, cosmetics, women can't stay without vipondozi. Yes. Then you go to electronics, you go to mobile phone accessories. So many things were brought, hardware things, from Uganda to Kenya. And
but they came from Kenya.
They came from Kenya, can you imagine? Wow. And that's why we were telling the government, why do we have so punitive taxes? And when they are making those taxes, they are not making those taxes in consideration and even in consultation with the stakeholders, because we have challenges, but we also have solutions. And the government is supposed to partner with the traders for it even be able to be able to thrive, because the moment you don't have a human face as a government, even as Kenya Revenue Authority, people will steal taxes. They are not going to pay tax. There's a way to circumvent taxes. But we have to build the patriotism that is needed by not being punitive. You see, for example, if my business is not doing very well, and I tell you these are the taxes which I'm paying, agree to those taxes which I'm paying. So don't tell me that last year you paid 2 million, why not 2 million today? The disruption is a lot. So when you look at all that, we were able to sustain ourselves in business because some opportunities came either by chance or by divine direction, but we had a lot of stock in Uganda. And so people reinvented themselves to that. Then also people started thinking, how can we now start making these things here in Kenya?
Yes.
Instead of going to China, how can I do that? And so I remember even some of our members, they got machineries in China, because obviously China, you could be able to ship something maybe by, even if it's going to take long, but you're going to get your machine in Kenya. There's one of our members who is making bulbs.
Wow. Yeah,
here in Kenya. Wow. There's another member who is also making, they're called trackings. It's a steamer. The trunkings,
yes.
The steamer. There's a member who is making that.
Wow.
There's a member, right now you saw the other day a guy who is making USB cables.
Yeah, that man. I need to see him.
You see, he's making USB cables.
Please bring him.
And that guy is just like that.
Yeah.
And as we are talking right now, I think he has a deal with all Safaricom shops.
Wow.
You see? So instead of us getting international Chinese cables, if you can get local cables which are better. So the only thing that they have done is to build his capacity for quality. He can be able even to sell his cables even in the US. The other day you saw the president was in the US and he witnessed a signing by KEPSA, the Kenya private sector. And we had a discussion even with the CEO of KEPSA when she was in the US. We had a discussion on the opportunities which are there for small medium entrepreneurs, because sometimes we may think that those opportunities are up there. They're not up there. In the US you can be able to send artifacts hata kama ni za 10,000 hata za 5,000. Really? Yeah, you just need a contact on the other end.
All right, Sam, we're about to get into a break. And you're going to be talking about all those opportunities so that, you see, at the end of the day, I hold this practical approach.
Yes.
When we have said all we have said, what is on the table?
What is on the table?
Because, you see, at the end of the day, like you've just said, our literacy levels are not the same. And most of the people are asking how much, how can I pay my rent? How can I do this? Of course, we need to move from there, but that's important. Very important.
That's where many people are at.
Because if somebody is worried about his rent,
we can't ignore
there's some
that.
things he can't do, or you can't do.
Yes.
So we are going to talk about that. But there's something I want to ask you. This is quick, 2 minutes. You've mentioned that government signed some opportunities in the US.
Yes.
How do they trickle down to the normal, the SME?
Information. Because if you don't know, you don't know.
So actually, you're going back to where we began with you another day.
Yes.
Information.
Yes. If you don't know,
information is key.
It's key. Because if you don't know it exists, if you don't know, you can't even go for it.
Yes.
You can't explore what you don't know. And so the moment you know it, you look at yourself and see, I can be able to engage in. And can you imagine that such opportunities? We are talking with the CEO of KEPSA, and we are even looking. There are even opportunities of being funded.
Oh.
Yeah, the opportunities of even being funded. So it's just about knowing the opportunities and strategically partnering with those opportunities, and that is where now I think it's key. From where I sit, and from what I do within the organization that I serve in, to be able to trickle down or to dispense that information so that people can take advantage. And Kenyans, we are not lazy.
We are not.
Kenyans, we are not lazy. The moment we get an opportunity to do something, we go full throttle. And I think it's important for us to disseminate that information and just to go out there and let people know, how do you want to start this business? Hata unaonanga watu wa mayai wanatuzianga hii mayai ya gonga. Yeah? That person is making a profit margin of 2,500 shillings on a daily basis.
Wow.
The person umeona anakugongea mayai, but the person is making 60,000 shillings in a month. 60,000 shillings in a month.
That's good money.
That's good money. So all of us, we can't fit in the offices, and we have to go out there, personalize our services, because entrepreneurship is solving problems. Just look at a service that you can be able to give. Look at either a service or a good that you can be able to give. Identify a problem and also solve it. By you solving it, then money comes there. Look at these street vendors who are here outside.
Yes.
They have come to your convenience. Instead of you stepping into a bookshop, many times you may not, but they're selling books out there.
Outside there.
You see? Probably you're passing and you remember, hey, today I even didn't wear socks which are of the same color. Then you buy socks.
Didn't put on my belt.
Yeah. So entrepreneurship is, number one, identify the problem and solve it. Then after you do that, convenience. Right now we're in an era of convenience.
Yes, convenience shopping.
Yeah. I don't need to go to the supermarket. And there's a time I was consulting with some young people, and I was telling them they are IT gurus. I told them, man, there's a time that is going to come. COVID hadn't come.
Yes.
I told them there's a time that is going to come that I want to order food, or I want to order, I want to walk through the supermarket and put goods in the cart and wait for them in the house.
It's true. It's happening, by the way. I've seen it. I saw it somewhere, and it's coming.
It's happening.
because all you need to do is get a link,
Yeah.
go into and then it's even faster because you go to the row by row.
Yeah, row by row, and you get what you want, you get what you want, and you come.
Card, pay
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
It's brought in.
Yeah. So I don't need to go there, and there's a proof of
I
concept.
think that means the delivery aspect.
That's
is
where
very
now.
key. Because I was in a supermarket the other day, a very serious supermarket. See, I will not mention them. They have a queue for motorbikes delivery, where you buy. They call them online shoppers.
Yes.
So these guys are in the house shopping. Their goods are brought to the counter, they are paid, and a rider is given and delivers. Meanwhile, you are queuing there.
You see, actually, that's where. Let me tell you, if I was to invest money, that is where money I would invest first, because we have already done what we call the proof of concept. It works.
Proof of concept.
Proof of concept. In your house, at your comfort, you order for Glovo. It's called Glovo.
It's good.
Food. You order KFC food. It comes at the comfort. 30 minutes, food is there.
Wow. Sam, we're going to go for a break now, and as we do that, we want to ask you, viewers, please, invite people. Let's hear you. Sam is going to answer any question you ask him, so please get on our Facebook handle, on our YouTube channels. Let's engage Sam. Don't let him just come and go. Let him, if you're looking for an opportunity, if you feel like you can clarify something, Sam is here. He's very generous with the information, and he is going to be with us to the end. We have a few minutes. We're going for a break. Like they say, don't touch that dial. But as you wait, invite your friends. See you after.
This November, a gathering of music ministers from all over East Africa. It's Kenya Music Ministers Conference with Marvel Jokes. Theme: the music, the minister, the mandate. Date: Saturday, November 6, 2021. Time: morning session 9 a.m., evening session 5 p.m. Venue: Tabernacle of Grace City of Hope at City Square House behind Kenya Cinema, Nairobi, Kenya. Also ministering Jackie Kelvin, Rosemary Njage, Size 8 Reborn, Anthony Musembi, Messalina, Promise Prince, Agusan Sunday, Irene Seeger, and many more.
Hi there, music is beyond the melody, it's the rhythm, and even the lyrics. Music is spiritual. The gospel in this end time will only travel to the ends of the earth, except on the wings of music. My name is Marvel Jokes. I'm an international music minister, an author, and also a teacher of the word. Do not want to miss this meeting for anything wherever you are. I'll see you in Kenya. God bless you.
This conference will also be aired live on YouTube at Marvel Jokes TV. Do subscribe and connect live.
Guidance to help pastors stand strong.
There are certain major attacks that men of God face in the life and ministry.
According to our tests, this man, we are just sure about 3 hours.
3 hours.
3 hours. 3 hours.
Oh my God.
Focus on issues affecting women.
Today on Sister Talk, we are going to discuss young wives.
And then those surprising moments, sometimes anakuja unashtuka, hey, mtu amekuja na flower, unasema hata sikuwa naitarajia, si birthday.
Empowering talks on health and wellness.
The services, they are deep. Yeah,
Yes.
they have ridges,
Yes.
and these tend to hide food.
Yes.
So you make sure they are super clean.
Wow.
Yeah.
Spice up your weekend with top-rated Christian movies.
An army of believers and will stand on your word above all else.
dispense it on TV. TV is too expensive. Yeah?
Welcome back to the Morning Digest. Remember, this is Elevate TV, and we are here advancing kingdom lifestyle. And one of the ways of the kingdom is to trade, is to find opportunities. They say the entrepreneurs in us see opportunities everywhere we look, but the many people see problems everywhere they look. That's the difference. Entrepreneurs are always looking for opportunities.
Yeah.
And one time I was in a very far place, very, very far, remote. I saw two Chinese men.
Yes.
And then, of course, engagement and all that, they say, we are looking for opportunities. But the people there were seeing the place is dry, they were complaining, Serikali's idea. But these men,
they are looking for problems to solve.
They were looking for problems to solve, and if we don't see the problems to solve, we'll be in trouble. Joseph Kimanzi, there's a man called Joseph Kimanzi. This is what he's saying. Every calamity creates opportunity. He's repeating what you've said.
Yes, it does.
Every calamity
creates opportunities.
And it's true. One time we were laughing. We were having a business empowerment seminar. And this man was very, I'm sure you know this man. He's called Sylvester.
Yes,
He said something that has never left my mind. He said something. This is what he said. Even in death, there's an opportunity. That's why when you go to the morgue, there's a guy selling you coffin, there's a guy selling you flowers, there's a guy selling you ribbons. Because even in your grief moment, another man is seeing opportunities.
I saw even now they're having limousines to carry the dead. Range Rover limousines.
Yes, Hammer. I saw a Hammer. There, you see the other a Hammer. In essence, this guy is dead. As he goes, he can't go with this opportunity.
Yeah, we have to get some money out of it.
Kenya, that's Kenya only. Kenya is an amazing nation.
It
that's
is.
why we can't let it go down.
It is.
And so opportunities that are emerging. And you said something about government. Government has information.
It does.
And you know why I like about the organization you lead, the SME, you know, that organization is that you sit in between. You are a link from government, and you are linked to the SMEs and the people out here. So tell me, the information in government, how does government disseminate information? And then how are you able now to take it, and you called it manageable?
Yes, dispensable, something that you can consumable.
Consumable, that's the language.
Yes.
How do you take it, and what kind of information? What does government have as information?
You see, government has a lot of information in its portals. So you find that government has a communication department. And let's give examples with government agencies. They are public, you know, they're out there. We have Kenya Bureau of Standards. We have Kenya Railways and Corporation. We have Kenya Revenue Authority. You know, we have Kenya Anti-Counterfeit. We have KIRD, Kenya Institute and Development Institute. Kenya Industrial and Development Institute, plus many other agencies. They don't dispense that information, how will I say it, strategically. That's the word. Because you see, there are so many opportunities which are out there, and there's a lot of money. You remember the other day the president said, we gave SMEs this amount of money, but nobody's collecting that money. Nobody's speaking that money.
Even you?
Yeah. Even us. Can you imagine?
Then there's a problem.
There's a problem. Why? Because that information is not clear. And the people who are supposed to carry out that initiative, they even do not know the procedures. The government has said it, but the implementation, the president has said it, yes, but the implementation part of it. And that is why now, from where we sit as aggregators, we sit in a platform whereby we want to dispense, we want to be a bridge. Let's enter into what we call strategic partnership with the government. We will dispense that information, tell us. We'll tell our members that this is happening. And I can give an example with when the government came and said that they are giving credit guarantees. We told them, yes, it's a fantastic idea. But the credit guarantees that you're giving, how are they going to reach to Mama Mboka? Credit guarantee is a big, huge name. It's a huge name.
Yeah, very big.
Yeah, so you're going to find that only the people who are literate and people who are able to to take opportunities at that particular moment, and they have that kind of information, they're empowered. And that is why I usually tell, like for example, because we have a very vibrant young generation population. When you look at our population, our demographics, we have very many young people. Some of us who are a bit older, 40s and above, we may be still wallowing in that, quagmire of not having that information. But young people, we must go out there and we must be hungry of information. Put the government to task. When you talk about these opportunities, where are they? And I gave you an example with Kirdi. I visited Kirdi the other day, and man, they have capacity.
You said something that is very important, and we should not lose it. We have a generation of young people.
Yes.
And if you study populations, one of the things you discover after every, 20 years?
Yes.
There is a change of language.
Yes.
There's a change of, emphasis. There's a change of actually even dressing.
And actually right now it's so dynamic that after every decade, those are 10 years, after every,
Actually, every 10 years.
After every 10 years.
There's always change. And that's why you find, even our politics today, they are really, really trying to remain relevant with language. Because if you don't speak to these young people, they don't go and register as voters.
No, they're not.
Right now, they're the ones who are not registering.
They're not.
They're not registering as voters. Why? The guys have not been able. You see, this organization that is registering voters has not been able to communicate. They have communicated in a stereotyped way. Just put flyers and go to TV and say, But you see, some of these guys, they will not understand that language. They need to be spoken to in their language. And so that information you're talking about from government needs to come and it is disseminated to different groups in their language.
Yes. And you're saying something very important. There's what we call the business language.
Yes.
On a lighter note, people say Kikuyu is a business language. It's not a business language, but that's on a lighter note. But there's the business language.
There's a business language.
There's the youth language. That youth language, you see, the government doesn't want to spend. Let's say even the IEBC, they have to have that language of the young people that they can be able to see value to register to vote. Because it's very important to register to vote, because you're having, you're taking your future, or you're making a decision that is going to affect your future, because the person who you put on that seat directly affects your businesses on a daily basis. And that's why we are very particular on what's happening in the political arena and who is going to sit on those seats. And we are in prayer and do whatever we need to do to make sure that the right people with the right agendas sit there. And so that dissemination of information is key, because with that now, you can be able to act on it. The moment the government talked about the credit guarantees, I remember KEPSA, they have about 750,000 members. About
750,000?
Yeah, 50,000 members.
Ooh.
About 200 plus thousand members got that money.
Wow.
So the money was there. And the threshold which the government had already put in place, they met the standards. But you see now, from where we sit as SMEs, number one, we lacked corporate governance. We were not organized enough for the government to speak to us. Because the government does not speak to individuals.
Oh yeah, government does not speak to
It speaks to entities. And that is how now you find that from where I sit, we are very key partners with the government. And we have discussions on a daily basis. You see, they call us for meetings. We have meetings on a daily basis with Kenya Revenue, almost on a daily basis with Kenya Revenue Authority. How are we going to dispense this information? The other day we had an online training to young people on TOT. What does it mean to have TOT? What is TOT, turnover tax? So who pays it? who is eligible to pay, which businesses are eligible to pay. So when you look at that, that information is key. And let me tell you, there are people who want to start businesses with 5,000 shillings, 2,000 shillings, 1,000 shillings. What businesses can they start? Because they are there. So when they don't have that information, there is an issue. And that is why from I had a discussion with you earlier. There's something that is coming up.
Yes.
There's something big that is coming up.
Wow.
We will be dispensing that information. What do you want to do? We are going to explore all the areas of SME, from micro, small, medium entrepreneurs. Showcase even businesses which are there. And they're even their turnovers, what they make, so that when a person is sitting there, they can decide and they can be informed where they can be able to place themselves at that particular moment. By you selling a Mayai Gonga doesn't mean that you're not going to be a manufacturer tomorrow, but there's always a starting point. And entrepreneurship is solving that problem, and not being ashamed to start from where you are supposed to start. Not being ashamed of, we call them the humble beginnings.
Yes.
Because the moment, they don't define you, but they pave way towards your goal. And so the moment you remain focused on that, you're able to do that. You shouldn't be ashamed to start small. Because those people, they are making, because at the end of the day, the process determines the outcome. You see? So that process that you have gone through, it's going to give you a lot of, it's going to empower you, that even when you're sitting from, like I'm sitting as a CEO, I told you when I came to Nairobi, I even brushed people's shoes.
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah. It is a collection of experiences.
There's growth.
And there's growth. They make you. You see? And every day you are deliberate to grow. To be a better human being and also to be a better entrepreneur. So when you look at that collective, so I'm sitting from where I'm sitting, it's because I've experienced so many things. You know, when I came to Nairobi, I was not even able to go to college. I went to school as an adult, married, with children. But
it's good, you went to school. Now you said something, I want to prod you further.
Yes.
I want to chokoza wewe kidogo.
Yes.
Something big, information. Is it going to become a place where your organization will be releasing information and to everyone?
What we intend to do, our organization has its own portal. And its own portal, we have a way, organization are structured. But the initiative that we are starting is an initiative because I sit in so many other platforms, organizations. So this is I'm spearheading an information portal with an entity which I'm going to talk about it later when we are doing that. And we are going to be, and we are working in synergy. It's about partnership.
Yes.
There's no competition here. It's about partnership with other government agencies and businesses to make sure that these opportunities exist and they are there.
Yes.
So that we can be able to build up a very vibrant and robust small medium entrepreneur sector or SME sector. And so that portal, I'm going to be spearheading it, going down there, giving people information. And I'll call you and other people, we come and we partner in this thing. It's going to be very big because we do not have that kind of portal as we are talking. And
information is key.
Information is key. And that portal is going to go, even kwanza, we will even talk with the street vendors, wale wanakuzianga vitu kwa barabara, kwa jam. You see, these people there, there are people who come and park cars na wanaenda kwa hiyo jam kuuza carpet nini.
Really?
Yeah. Those things, those vitu za magari, the accessories za magari. Yeah. So that now tusiwe tuna focus only on wearing a suit and a tie. What other opportunities are out there?
Yeah.
Because when we open up that information, we are helping young people. We are helping that generation you're telling me about. We are assisting the economy of this country because this country is ours, and we have to bring change to that.
Oh yeah. We cannot go out there and get people to tell us. We have to be the ones. We are going time. You are spearheading that initiative.
Yes.
And the kind of information you'll be giving. Tell me more about this SME kind of environment, what are the opportunities? Because today we are discussing opportunities.
Yes, yes.
What
yes.
are the opportunities
Yes.
in the SME sector? And yeah, because there's somebody seated at home, they're wondering, niko na 5,000. I can raise 5K or 10K. Can I start anything?
Yeah, you can.
So just, you don't have to expound on them, just let's list them.
You can. Let me tell you one of the good things about the SME sector in Kenya. By lack of organization structures, it favors the SME sector in a way, and I'll tell you how. Do you know, with 5,000 shillings, you can go to Gikomba today, uchukue nguo za watoto. Nguo tu za watoto za 5K. Ukuje uzifue ama uzipige pasi, then you start hawking from office to office, or you get a strategic place uko nyumbani kwa kibanda. Right now we even have better placements online. On your phone status, how many people do you have in your network? 200 or 300 people. Put those nguos there. You see, the problem that we have is that the moment you place those goods or services that you're providing on your status and you don't get a call in a week, you give up. But let me ask you something. I was sitting down with one ex. She was an ex-Safaricom director. She's the one who brought, they initiated the M-Pesa. They said, she told me, the M-Pesa that right now is the talk of the world in terms of fintech. Worldwide. Silicon Valley, they're talking about M-Pesas. Go to other places, they're talking about M-Pesa. They stayed for 1 whole year with that product not penetrating into the market.
Wow.
A whole good year. A whole good year. Today, Safaricom, there is no one day, tell me one day, you have ever watched TV one day, prime time, that they didn't advertise. One day. How old are they? 20 years. But they have never stopped. Consistency is a principle of growth.
Wow. Consistency
is a principle of growth. So from where you are starting, you may have a lot of issues. But as you are going up, things fall off. Impurity starts building up. The moment I see from your status, you are continuously posting these glasses. At some point, I'm going to buy those glasses.
Yes, it's true.
At some point, I'm going to buy those glasses. But the issue that we have with many young people and the opportunities which are coming is because you're not consistent. Let me give an example. And the other thing is consistency, and number 2, not being ashamed of humble beginnings.
Consistency and
not being ashamed of humble beginnings. Let me give opportunities which are there. I told you about Maya Igonga.
Maya Igonga, yes.
Yeah? Right now we have a 24-hour economy.
Yes.
I want you to go to Accra one time at around just maybe 1 a.m. 12 midnight. You're going to see ladies with tians. Zakahawa.
I've seen them.
Zakahawa. Tians. Kahawa, 10 shillings.
Yes.
Tians. That lady, if you go and ask her how much she makes, per night is 1,000 shillings.
Wow.
That is 30,000 shillings. She's going to work at night, and during the day probably she's doing something else.
Yes.
I want you one time probably even to walk and unaona pa Haile Selassie where they are building. There's a guy who stands there na ndoo ya what you call tungumu. A full door of tungumu, it has like 300 tungumus. Each kangumu is about 30 bob.
Whoa.
30 bob. So 30 bobs times 300? 6K.
Yeah? Times 300, 30 times 300.
Yes.
Yeah.
See me 6K? 6K. So this 6K, give and take a third. Hiyo kangumu alinunua 10 shillings pale Light Industries. Kwa hivyo anatengeneza 20 shillings. 20 times 300?
Give you 6.
No. So can you imagine? That is 9K, 3K, 6K. Mtu anaenda nyumbani na 6K.
Mtu anaenda home na 6K.
Na ameuza kangumu asubuhi. Na kangumu unakuja unachukua 30 bob. Watu wale wako ICA, whatever, watu insurance, they come, they pick 2, 3, 4 like that. Because there's a traffic flow. What am I saying? Identify a problem or a service or a good that you can be able to solve. Identify that uko kwenyu. Let's say, for example, we are talking about deliveries.
Yes.
Right now. Estate yenyu. There are people who want to take letters. There are people who want to take parcels from your estate, and they are there.
Yeah.
From institutions like schools. Schools, they send mails. They do whatever. How can you be able to place yourself as a service provider from where you are, where people know you? Because you don't need to build your reputation there. They already know you. We can
like
get
what
them
you're
there.
saying. You know,
Practicality.
You know, there's a guy actually during COVID season lost his job, and of course, you see, most of these people, most of us have families, young families.
Yeah.
The guy looked for a bike. He got a bike, a motorbike, and he started doing deliveries.
Yes.
It comes to you, you want to send something to town, and the guy told me something very interesting. He told me, in a day, he always hits a target of 5,000 every day. And then his expenditure is a full tank, which is not even 1,000. It's actually now 1,000 because of fuel issues.
Let even make 3K. That person, even when the economy opens, he doesn't want to go to work.
This one is not going. In fact, he's adding bikes because he said, you see, again, of course, because of trust and professionalism, there is that aspect of being able to be trusted. You know, you also don't want somebody who's drunk,
who you can't be able to.
You know. But what you're saying is practical approaches.
And start from anywhere. I told you when I was doing shoe shines here in town, that shoe shine was paying me some money.
Wow.
That shoe shine was giving me a 5-digit figure. I think, yeah, the shoe shine was mine, and I had taken one seat as my seat, and I had my own clientele. People don't know I did that at some point. And I can tell you,
I know.
It was it was paying like it was not even paying me 50,000. It was not paying me 60,000. It was not paying me 70,000. It was not paying me 80,000
in a month.
Yeah, let me stop there.
Wow.
You get?
Wow.
Yes, it wasn't. It's up. So when you look at those, you know, it changed my life on going for what I think we discussed last time. You want to make big money, big deals, solve people's problems, work with economies of scale. Uza hiyo mayai, tengeneza shilingi 10, uza mayai 1,000. That's it. Wow. Your game. And today we have opportunities of joining circles. Save on a daily basis on those circles.
By the way, you have not even touched on your SME circles.
Yeah. Save on a daily basis. Save on a monthly basis. Because
so
now
the circle is
still there. And we are still growing very well. So save on a daily basis, save on a monthly basis. Have your own saving, culture and discipline. Then you get to some point whereby now you can even borrow 3, 4, 5 times. Now, with that, now you're going to open opportunities. A friend of mine was telling me that one of our friends, I say, hey, this guy, where did he go? He was employed somewhere along Thika Road, somewhere. Yeah. He said, that guy right now is doing so well. And his turnover every month is 2 million. I said, what did he do? He went to a certain place and he bought a butchery. One person was not able to run a butchery. He bought a butchery at 130,000 shillings.
Wow.
He started running it. He opened now. I'm telling you, he opened out there. He started selling samosa.
Oh.
The samosas themselves, they give him 15,000 shillings on a daily basis.
On a daily basis?
Daily basis. Samosas. Now the butchery.
True.
Plus now a hotel out there. So his turnover on a daily basis, it was coming to about 80,000 shillings. 80K. You see, when you look at these small opportunities, because many times you do not want, mimi sasa nivalie kabuti niuze samosa.
Watu watasema.
Watu watasema. But you see, watu watasema, you are giving away 80,000 shillings, which people are not going to give
People
you.
will not tell you. Actually, people will not say. They
They're not
actually,
going to
when
give
they
you.
discover you are doing away with 80,000,
Yeah.
they will even wonder what kind of Kenyan are you.
I get what I'm saying? Yeah, what
Yes.
kind of Kenyan are you? So when I talk about entrepreneurship, we must create what we call the dignity of service provision.
Yes.
The person who is selling, the person who is cleaning, a janitor in the US, because they have a culture of dignifying work.
Yes. Wow. Dignifying.
Dignifying work.
As long as it's work, it
I'm
should be
so
dignified.
proud that I am a watchman at night. And you're not saying you are a
Remember,
watchman.
most of these guys who go to school
Yeah,
outside.
yeah.
Some of them actually do security work. at night.
Exactly. And you're not going to say you are a watchman. You're going to say you are a security
I'm a
officer.
security officer.
You see, dignifying work.
Yeah.
A janitor in the US will work so well. And I remember there's one guy I met in a restaurant somewhere along Gong Road. And I just entered into the lavatories. And that person is washing with a lot of... I said, hey man, this is fantastic. This is good work. He said, yeah. He told me the tips that he gets inside there. Because it's a restaurant, it's a club, hotel. The tips that he gets inside there pays rent, pays school fees for his children. So the salary, haonangi mambo mingi na salary. So when you dignify work, then what you do is pursue excellence.
Wow.
Pursue excellence. People just
Dignify work, pursue excellence.
excellence.
Wow.
If, for example, you are selling earrings, package them. Nunua tu karatasi to a nylon. Just package them in a very good way. I told you the other time, I told some guys in campus, if I was in campus, I could be making 1 million shillings. And I gave them that. And I still remember that guy followed that.
Oh.
That guy, immediately, even when he was in campus, he had a lot of money. He told me his account was running almost to 1 million, and he's in campus. Why? Because it's about knowing what the service is, identifying those services, engaging in those services, and after you engage in those services, you now consistently do that and pursue excellence and consistency. And don't be ashamed of, don't be ashamed. Go out there and do something. So when you say about opportunities which are there, there are so many opportunities. There are people who are making nails. They are called the nails parlor. The nail something, Those nails something, they do the gels and the polish and everything. I think it's about 200 shillings for the hands of 500 shillings uko mtaani. Those small girls you are seeing there, they are making about 100,000 every month.
Wow. Sam, you are full of information. That's one of the things I can tell you. You're full of information.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate that you could give it up in Elevate TV. I want you to give a parting shot before we close.
Yes.
Look at that screen. Let's, just speak to somebody out of your heart. Do it, please.
Thank you. I strongly believe that we have to take our destiny into our hands, and we have the capacity as long as you're alive and as long as you're healthy, because it's a gift. You can be able to do something and change people's lives. Look at a service that you feel your heart inclined to do and start it. Be a source of hope, information, service. And once you're doing that service, when you're given that opportunity to do that service, do it to par excellence. Do it to the best that you can be able to do. And the results are sure. It's something that has been proven. It's a concept that has been proven. Look at some of the things that you can be able to do even in your neighborhood. People didn't start laundry companies by having the machines. They started with their hands. Then they bought the machines. Look at something that you can be able to do for people, and they are going to give you value for your services. When you start small, you're definitely going to grow. There's one principle which I know, the principle of the mustard seed. You can never overrule it. You can never outgrow it. Start small and you're going to grow. Thank you.
Wow, I can never say it better. Sam has said it. One of the things I collect from Sam is not only full of information, but full of passion. Passion to see growth, passion to see change, passion to see people move from one step to another and make something out of that movement, which is called opportunity. Sam, I really thank you.
Thank you,
You're
Pastor.
a great person.
Thank
If
you.
nobody told you that, I say it here. Confidently, you're a great
I
person.
really appreciate it. Thank
And
you.
I like the way you handle yourself, the way you handle information, the way you are passionate for people. And may it bring forth.
Amen.
May this passion, may this desire to see people grow bring forth.
Amen.
So with that, we can only say goodbye. This has been the Morning Digest, Wednesday edition. I've been your host, Moses Muiruri. And remember, this is Elevate TV, advancing the kingdom's lifestyle. Have a wonderful day. Let's meet you next time.